The first alert, breaking news that we're following a situation that started developing at about 4:30 this morning.
Green Bay police responding to a call. They have a stretch of East Mason Street closed right now. Kristyn Allen just arrived at the scene. Kristyn, what do you see out there?
Yeah, this is happening at a Grand Central Station gas station on the corner of Mason and Bellevue Streets. And police tell me that there is a woman inside of a car in the parking lot of the gas station and she has a gun. Now, we are back a little bit from the gas station, but you can sort of see here behind me where the gas station is. And if we take a closer look, you can kind of see that there's an armored police vehicle over there. Now, understandably, they want us back a distance and they have several street closures in this area. They say that so far no shots have been fired, but they have called in some negotiators to try to resolve the situation. We are on a side street behind the gas station. We are on the corner of John and Kimball Streets, and there are just numerous police cars up and down many of these side streets here. As I said, this is as close as they want us to get because this is a very, fluid situation. They say, as I said, that they have called in the negotiators right now, and that's really all the information that they say that they have to release. But there are many street closures in this area, including Mason Street directly in front of the gas station and several side streets as well. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you the latest information as soon as we learn it. Reporting live in Green Bay, Kristyn Allen, Action 2 News.
We want to get right to first alert, breaking news developing since about 4:30 this morning.
Green Bay police say they had to deal with a woman who had a gun. The situation did close a portion of East Mason Street, but it's all been resolved in the past half hour.
And Kristyn Allen has been on scene since about 5:30. Explains what happened.
That's right, and the scene looks a lot different right now than it did just even a little while ago. There are not as many police cars around, but the situation happened at the Grand Central Station gas station at the corner of Mason and Bellevue Streets. You can see the gas station here behind me, and everything is clear and back open and running more like normal. But earlier this morning, police said that they got a report of a woman who had a gun, and she was walking around the parking lot of this gas station and pointing the gun at some person inside and also at the pumps. Then she went to her car, closed the door and rolled up the windows and was sitting inside of the car with the gun, and she had it pointed under her chin. That's what police say she was doing when they arrived here, and they said because the woman was inside of the car with the windows rolled up, it was very difficult to communicate with her. They had a hard time doing that, but they did call in negotiators and spent a couple of hours doing that. She did eventually get out of the car and dropped the weapon, and they were able to use pepper balls to disorient her. And police say that mental health issues were what caused the situation.
The first people that arrived here took up a position of cover and tried to communicate with her as best as they could. She seemed to be having hallucinations, and she was shouting things about the FBI and about Al-Qaeda. It was hard to capture her attention, but they were trying to establish communication with her. And then we ended up getting the city Bearcat and county Bearcats here to try to resolve it as peacefully as possible.
Take her into custody safely. There were no shots fired and no one was hurt. They say because of the mental health issues so far, they aren't recommending any charges, but instead are going to try to help her get the help and the treatment that she needs. Reporting live in Green Bay, Kristyn Allen, Action 2 News.
Nearly 100 lifelike dinosaurs are going to fill the Rush Expo this weekend. An interactive show will make you feel like you traveled 65 million years back in time to see some of the largest animals that ever lived. Let's go out now to Kristyn Allen to tell us about the Dino Stroll.
Good morning, guys. This is how close that you can get to some of the dinos at Dino Stroll. And guess what? There was somebody inside. This is a costume. Can you give us a roar? These guys are going to be walking around here during Dino Stroll, and I'm also joined by one of the producers. Look at, they're just like waiting to get over here. It is kind of freaky when you have them all coming at you with those teeth, but I'm joined by Matt Flynn, the director, producer with the show, and tell us just a little bit. Let's swing over here so he can get a good view of these dinos. Tell us a little bit about what happens with these guys. They're going to be walking around, interacting with people.
They are. They're going to be, like you said, walking around, interacting. People lose their minds when they see them. They run up to them. They either run up to them or run from them. Either way. But you can get pictures with them. These guys been working hard on a dance. They're doing the Dino Shuffle.
Okay.
So you'll see the band in one of the next segments. We have a band, and then they'll go there and dance. But selfies after selfies after selfies. So this is kind of, you'll see them walking throughout. So people will just be doing their little stroll, and all of a sudden they'll come up and they'll just leave.
So how do these work? Obviously they're roaring, so there must be, something inside that they're able to push a button that lets them, interact, move. They're really able to move, their bodies and make sounds. How does that work?
Correct. So inside of it, they have a joystick. They have a camera so they can see outside. There's a full video screen, and they have a joystick that they can control the sound, their movement, and everything.
Tell us a little bit about what else people will be able to see at Dino Stroll here. There's other dinos that are set up. They are animatronic, like you can see the one back in the cage back there. There is not a human inside that costume, inside of that one. So what will people be able to see when they're just kind of walking through here?
Well, you're going to see everything from a Stegosaurus to a Velociraptor in a cage to, like we said, the 30-foot tall T-Rex. A dino band we'll look at. You'll be able to get in a selfie picture. Over to the right here, we have a dinosaur that you can come behind it, stick your head out, and also even ride a T-Rex, around a T-Rex.
What kind of experience does this give people? I mean, I think that, we've all seen, pictures, and we've been to museums and, history books, but this gives people such a different perspective and I think appreciation for what these creatures were like.
It does. It gives them the size, and kind of it lets them their imagination run wild, so they can say, oh my God, if something this size was chasing me back then. Or if you look at these creatures, obviously the Velociraptor, if you look it up, it's really small, it's like a turkey in real life, but obviously in the movies they sensationalized it and made it larger. So that's why we have costumes like that. It gives people up front and close feeling of it. Plus we have educational plaques by the majority of our dinosaurs so people can learn about them.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And you can check these guys out here this weekend at the Rush Complex. You can get your picture taken with one of them. Oh, they're friendly. Don't let them fool you. And if you want more information or to buy tickets, just head over to our website, WBAY.com. Reporting live at the Rush Expo, Kristyn Allen, Action 2 News.
First alert happening now. Damage from the high winds. Lots of reports of trees, branches down, wires down too.
And fortunately, major damage is limited. Want to go live now to Kristyn Allen, who's out there this morning checking out damage.
Good morning. We are on School Place between Maple Avenue and Ashland, a little bit closer to the Ashland Avenue side. And if you take a look here behind me, you can see this enormous tree that was uprooted here. And it is quite honestly a mess right here. There are just branches and parts of trees everywhere, and you can just see how it kind of extends here. And if you take a look, you can see there's some cars parked back here. There is a tree on one of the cars. They're pretty much just kind of trapped in here because you can see this big tree here and then the cars behind it. And there's also more trees down behind us in the other direction as well. So these trees were just uprooted, just sliced and have toppled over here. So you can see this is going to take a lot of work to clean this up today. Now, earlier this morning, police are out here and there was a fire truck and they were sort of assessing the damage. I imagine that they're going to have to get a plan in place and get some crews back here because, like I said, this will be a big job. There's this obviously really big tree, but there are just a lot of smaller branches down here on the ground as well. There's branches on the lawns here in this residential area as well. So crews definitely have their work cut out for them today, and will be a lot of cleanup in this area and I imagine other parts of the city as well. Reporting live in Green Bay, Kristyn Allen, Action 2 News.